As of recording this video, Ideogram just dropped one of the biggest things that we are all looking for, character consistency. You can see right here, introducing Ideogram character. It says upload one photo, easily place the character with magic fill, and it works with remix. We're going to play exactly what it is all about. So to start, you have to just click on try now, and you're going to see, if you've not already used Ideogram, you're going to have this section which says character. So that's where you're going to go. And you can see, if you've not already done anything, you should see automatically, you should have an option for either the camera. You can take a picture, you can upload your own photograph, or you can work with any creations. Now, for example, if I wanted to add my own picture, I can just quickly go ahead and I can add an image from myself. So I'm going to take one image of myself, ready to generate your clicks. Also, this can work with free. The only caveat is, in the free one, you're not able to delete your character generation. So you have to keep that in mind. So Ideogram is giving that opportunity for all of us. Now, if I wanted to actually try a specific style, let's say I wanted to do a movie photo shoot. So I like the way that they've given us opportunity to actually look at different kinds of templates if you don't want to work with. That's not the bigger question. The question here is, how well can it hold on to the character consistency, as you just now saw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this travel zoom, and automatically you can see a fisheye lens photograph taken with a long, all of this in the background, a person wearing a bucket hat. So you can see automatically I have my face there and it's already tracked the face. Now this is a public, and we're going to do generate. And soon after, what happens is this creations, you can also see right over here on the top. You can already see it showing up. Now, if you see right over here, obviously the hands seem to be a little bit off, but I think my facial consistency seems to be there. Also here, it kind of looks a little bit weird when it comes to the body structure. But again, let's keep a note on the face. It does look pretty similar to the image that I had here, which was this image. So I think they have done a good job on that. That is really, really nice. Now, if I wanted to, for example, change it, and you can also have the magic prompt on. I'm going to keep the magic prompt on for this one so I can have it. And then you can also do realistic or fictional. So if you're doing anything like an anime character or anything like a comic character, it would be nice to have fictional. I'm going to do realistic. Again, you can notice that I'm working on the free tier. You can still have like 9 characters that you can do, but all of the generations will be public. You can essentially get multiple different images from one image without having to do like a LoRa training, or without having to do 20 different images. Now what we can do is, now you see over here, this does look like me pretty much, even though I kind of like this one more. So here you can already see 2 examples, and these are just the character examples. Again, if you want to see the creations, you must have to go to here, and you can see all the character references over here. And then these are the characters. So if I want to change my name of my character, I can actually put it to my name, and then that changes the name. And under that character, you essentially are able to see what kind of generations you've done. But what if I wanted to add something more to it? To do that, I'm actually going to take an image from right over here in pixels. I'm just going to say group of people, and let us take this picture here. So I'm also going to have the link to this picture's credit down in the description, so you can also have a look. So I'm going to take this image right over here, and what I'm going to do is have it so that it is next to this image. So we're going to go upload an image, and you can see I have uploaded an image. Now I'm going to say this could be a style reference, or we could do remix. Now when a remix happens, usually what happens is Ideogram usually tries to read the entire image, and as you saw just now, creates this entire prompt. Now, do I need the exact thing? Let's have a look into it. We see a casual outdoor photograph of 4 young adults sitting together on a green grass. Here we see this, and now we have my character reference. So I want to see if it actually can mix and match, and if we can put in one of the images. That is one option. Now, the other thing that we can also do is, if you wanted to just like go ahead, and you can also do something else, which was also mentioned, and I wanted to just show it here. You can see the option of magic fill. So when I go to magic fill, say for an example, I want to change this guy's face. But in order to do that, the best way to do it is to have a larger area. So I'm having it much larger than the face. So if you have that, what's going to happen is you will be able to cover a lot more space. So anyways, so I have that over there. So essentially now what should happen is that magic fill should directly target for my face and we should see that. While that is happening, let us see what happened here. My face is pretty much there. Another thing that I feel is really wonderful with this one is that character consistency seems to be much better. Even if we are looking at the quality per se, it seems to be pretty nice from the get-go, whether it is a generation, whether it is a selfie, or whether it is a creation, or it is a picture. After this, I also want to try another thing. So for example, I don't have a sideways image with this photograph because I did not take a sideways image. But what if I asked it for it to do that? Keeping the magic prompt on and the style, I'm going to be keeping it to realistic. I'm going to generate that one. Meanwhile, let's see that photograph. So if you see here, it's going to take few of them. I think the closest one to that image would be this one. Also, another thing that we should really appreciate here is that the coherence with the lighting is really on point. In that, what I mean is it has blended it in a very beautiful way. So as we can see, this is the image that looks the strongest in this one. Now, clearly, you can already see something that is happening. I did not have a side facing, but I think the closest that I would say to the image that I had, I think this one is the closest, and then these ones kind of become someone else. If you see, it holds on to many of the features that were there in that person. So I'm going to also mention a headshot, and you can see how beautifully it's able to generate these characters. And then while this is happening, you can either find it in the creation section or you can find it up top over here. And while this is happening, let's again try to do a magic fill. So I'm going to again do a magic fill on this image right over here. I'm again going to do this. The man is looking towards the woman in the red top and smiling, giving it a bit more direction. And this is huge, in my opinion. Now, let's look at the other use case scenario. Maybe this could be my next LinkedIn profile. But I think this one has that kind of my facial structure, which I had in that image. Just to give you guys a little bit of a context what we are working with. So this is the image that I have been supplying to Ideogram. And then this is what we got here. I can see some parts of it are still closed. I think the strongest one would be this one right over here. Now, let's look at this picture over here. I kind of like the strongest one would be this one in my opinion. I mean, it did understand another thing if we see here, and I get a magic prompt here automatically because I kept the magic prompt on, but also automatically it does look towards the woman in the red. So it kind of does not feel like this image was not placed. Again, this just took us a few minutes to get this kind of a thing. So we've all seen this popular meme, and I'm actually going to be trying to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again upload an image over here, and then I'm going to take the Gatsby one. So then you can see I have the opportunity to remix. Remix, essentially, you, as the word suggests, you remix it. But since this is a very popular meme, we've all seen it in the internet, I'm going to do this and I'm going to use my image with this. I want to see again how beautifully it can merge it. Let's click on the magic fill. So I'm going to click on the magic fill again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go more than just the face. I'm probably going to do this whole area so that it can give a little bit more of a context. Also, the person in question is different hair color, is a different skin texture. Everything is different. They have more hair. I think that should be good enough. Also, another thing to note is that when you're doing a magic fill or a remix, your aspect ratio is locked to the image that you have placed over there. So the parent image that we have is the image which is for now the meme image, but the previous one, for example, this one we had was the parent image, which was this image, right here. So when that happens, you do not get the control on the aspect ratio. And you can also do default or turbo if you wanted to go quicker. So for this one, again, because it's a magic fill, you can already see that you don't also get the opportunity to click on realistic or fiction because it automatically predetermines it based on the image. So I'm going to keep the magic prompt on, and then we're going to just roll with it. Again, not to overhype, there are multiple different ways and multiple different sources in AI platforms which are doing character consistency. But I think this is the best way to get character consistency. You take one image and then you're able to create a plethora of images, whether be it you want a professional portrait, a headshot, whether you want a side photo for a photo that you did not have a side photo like this one, or whether you want to add yourself in an image that you were not a part of. For example, this one. Or if you want to just make yourself a meme. Get the idea. So this is what happens when you are working with when you're working with character consistency, again, you go back over here and your character will be created here. And then you can also see others have also made different characters, and you can also play around with that. Let us try something else. We have only seen what it can do with photorealism, but I want to see what it can do without photorealism. Obviously, this is my photograph, but what if I wanted to make myself into a different style? Can it still hold on to everything I have? I think now building characters would be even much more fun. Now let's make a different style. And then what I'm going to do is I'm obviously going to be making it fictional, and I'm going to change the aspect ratio. So another thing, obviously, if you haven't seen my ideogram video, you can check it up right over here, which is that ideogram has a plethora of different ratios. But if you don't have those ratios, you can always add it. But for now, I just want to keep it simple, and I'm going to do 3x4. And then obviously we have the number of images we want. They also show how many credits you're going through. So if you see right over here, you can see how many credits you have in total. For the free ones, you can get up to a certain number. You can still do the character generation for the free one, but you have to keep in mind that it is public. Now let's just go ahead and do this and see how it can actually hold on to it with a different character style. While this is happening, let's look at the community and see if we can actually take some style and mix it with our character, my face. So I want to look at something that might have some typography. Obviously, we all know that ideogram has been pretty strong with the typography part of things. Now I'm looking at some things and I'm just trying to see, what if we could do something like this? What if we could do something like this? Perfect. I can do a magic fill here. It's going to be interesting. So let's do actually a larger one. So I'm going to do something like that. I want to see what this does actually. And let's go back to our creations and see where I am with this one. So when it comes to this one, it looks pretty nice. I feel like this one looks pretty nice as an ancient Indian from a cartoon style. They also kept a respectful way to keep the cartoon style without making it look too funky. I really like it. So you do see that it held on to my glasses. It kept the beard that I have. And then it also kept that hairstyle which it had from that initial parent image. You can see. So it had that buzz cut. It kept that. So it's really nice. You don't just need to make a character for photographic generations, but you can also make it for other things. If you see right over here in the bottom, you can see that it has done something with the face. It actually got the face pretty accurate. That being said, I think this is really nice and fun way to actually get some interesting concepts. Before we wrap it up, I just want to again try this one right over here. Again, the same idea. So I kind of like the way that this lighting is set up. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to take this one over here. And I honestly feel like the magic fill and the remix tool are really going to be powerful when you're using the character consistency for this one. A man looking suave and at the camera. At this point, you get the idea what is happening over here. So it's basically all coming from, and if you ever want to see where your images are, you can always go down to this place, or you can go to your creations tab. So the creations tabs is where everything is sorted, or under the character tab. So in the character tab, you should be able to see everything that we have done today, and you can see everything that you would also be able to do. And just like that, you see yourself having a professional photo shoot without even having a photo shoot. And again, if you think about it, I just had honestly this image as my original image. And now I am able to create multiple more images from that. So it's very interesting. It's kind of still stuck to, because I did the magic fill just on the face, so it just stuck to this one. I really love the fact that it is able to hold on to the face and even giving that little bit of a side eye. All in all, I feel like it's a really strong step forward in the right direction when it comes to character consistency. If you've liked this video, you should definitely check out this video. Until the next time, see you later.